Hello, welcome back to the Waffle Press podcast. I'm your host, David Crespo. With me today is Gina Versa.
Hey.
He's right there. Also, we have a guest today, a returning guest, Trevor Dillon from Frida Cinema.
Hello.
How are you, Trevor?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm giving you the intro.
Okay.
Well,
great.
It's been so long since you've been around here.
Since last year?
Yeah. This is our new studio. What do you think?
I love it.
Be honest.
I love it. I mean, I'm a fan. I'm a waffle presser. I'm a waffle pressee. I don't know what you call your fans. Do you say fans?
A couple, like five.
Listeners, watchers.
Yeah. People donate to the Patreon, which I appreciate. So links down below on the YouTube version if you're watching this on there. So.
I've been just not watching movies, not doing anything movie related ever.
Okay, good. This is great for our movie talk show.
I'm the programming director at the Frida Cinema in Orange County, so I've just been working nonstop to bring a lot of movies to that cinema and Orange County in general, because God knows it needs some culture and some film life.
That's cool. How's your summer been? Both of you, actually. How's your guys' summer been?
Please.
Talking summer movie season. We're talking all this stuff. What are the best movies that came out this summer? What are the two good movies that came out this summer? And some smaller movies people might not have actually seen. Because there's a couple that got under the cracks. Distribution stuff is hard unless you're in Los Angeles or New York City for some reason. Don't know who decided that, but they're an asshole. I say this as a person who lives in and around LA. But Gene, what's up with you? What's going on?
Yeah, the summer has just been a little uneventful. Comic-Con was a little boring, as I described.
Was it? I didn't miss out?
Yeah, you didn't miss out.
Oh yeah, we talked about it. That's right.
Yeah, it was just, I felt like Bart in The Simpsons when he broke his leg, just in my room, just twiddling
Shia LaBeouf and Disturbia.
Just Shia LaBeouf and Disturbia. I wasn't really doing too much.
We keep bringing up the specific reference that's like everything except from the actual reference. I'm not even going to say it. Don't say it. Just leave it hanging. That's amazing.
Nope. Yeah, just not that Alfred Hitchcock.
Damn it, Gene. At least you didn't say the name.
I didn't say the name. They have to watch it and figure it out themselves.
Yeah, watch all the Alfred Hitchcock movies. Alfred Hitchcock retrospective? No, probably not for a while, because I guess it'll be available on the Patreon. It'll be announced by this point when the time this episode comes out. The next retrospective is on Adam Sandler and Steven Spielberg. Matt Garingo and I will be hopping back and forth between their respective filmographies, ending on Uncut Gems for Adam Sandler and West Side Story for Steven Spielberg. So this will be the next year of my life outside of this, which will be something. I've had a lot of fun recording so far. A handful of episodes up on the Patreon. Again, by the time this is out, so go check that out.
How many credits does Spielberg have versus Sandler?
We had to compress a couple. Shout out to Matt again for helping me organize that, organizing the whole thing. Basically, he came up with a good idea to compress the Hotel Transylvania trilogy into one episode.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The grown-ups movies into one episode.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, and it's not even a testament to the quality of those films. Just it's easier to get it all together.
Yeah.
And only the movies where Adam Sandler's in a lead starring role is important to note, because he's in a lot of movies. Yeah. So just to make things easier on us.
And you do Spanglish.
Yeah, he's in the leading role in Spanglish.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I have the document. I'll show you after we're done recording. Okay. But that's what's happening. We're here. Yeah. We're excited.
But yeah, summer was kind of was okay. Just trying to work as much as possible and finish a short film.
Yeah, money's good. Capitalism, bad.
You know what? The only thing I was happy about, finish Evangelion.
I still need to start Evangelion. Do you watch Evangelion?
I don't do anime. I wish I could. I try to play a lot of anime at the theater because I know there's a huge fan base for it, but I just didn't. I don't even know where to start. Like Akira, is that where I just butt in and be like?
I guess you can start at Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, I haven't even gone there.
No.
You know what I mean?
Cowboy Bebop, Waffle Press approved. It's the best one.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe I'll start there then. For sure.
But since you're on the topic of Frida, before moving to the main subject of today's episode, what's going on over there? What do you guys, and what's going on with you? What do you got coming up that we can plug?
As far as the Frida goes, I just finalized September 2019's programming, and it's I think the best month of programming we've ever done. At the end of the show, do we do plugs at the end or right now?
We can do plugs right now, and then we'll talk about back. At the end.
I have a list of the stuff we have coming up in September, and it's insane to me. There's so many movies. Is it okay if I just read it? Or,
yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so we do a lot of repertory at the Frida, so there's a lot of older movies that we play, but we also do new movies. People don't know that who walk by, like, oh, that's the place that plays old movies. Like, no, we get like some good, cool movies in Orange County. So we're playing The Nightingale, Jennifer Kent's new movie, obviously, who made the Babadook. We're playing A Boonwell in the Labyrinth of Turtles. This is a new anime film from G Kids. Not animated film, not anime film. We are having a new anime film called Promare from Trigger Studios.
Okay.
Are you familiar with Trigger? They do good work. I've been told. I don't actually know that. One Cut of the Dead is that zombie film.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. People were really stoked on that. That's a one-night only event.
Oh, no.
We're playing Issa Lopez's Tigers Are Not Afraid, which Guillermo del Toro has been going around town telling everybody it's like she's the next great filmmaker, and I've seen it, and I agree with him. As usual, I love Guillermo. And then we're playing A24's new Peter Strickland film, In Fabric, which is about a haunted dress. Kind of like a Velvet Buzzsaw, the Jake Gyllenhaal movie.
I did see the trailer for that one.
Oh, man. That
one
was
looks
so
weird.
bad.
Oh.
No, Velvet Buzzsaw is bad.
Oh, no, I agree.
Yeah. In Fabric looks great, though. And then we're doing a Pedro Almodovar retrospective for Hispanic Heritage Month, and then a bunch of the old movies we're playing are Rob Zombie has a new movie coming out. We're doing House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects as a double feature. We're playing Hard Ticket to Hawaii, which is kind of on the Mount Rushmore of bad movies. Hedwig and the Angry Inch, American Psycho 20th anniversary, because there's the new Rambo movie coming out. This is all in 1 month, by the way. All 1 month of program.
Jesus.
Rambo 1 and 2. 10-year anniversary of a Resident Evil Apocalypse. 10 year? 15 year?
10 year. No, oh, wait.
Of what?
Resident Evil Apocalypse.
Yeah, like 20, I would say.
No.
I think it's
Oh,
15.
no, Apocalypse.
2004. Yeah, 15.
Okay,
Yeah.
15-year anniversary of Resident Evil Apocalypse. We do Rocky Horror every month, The Room every month, also on the Mount Rushmore of bad movies. We're playing Mandy in the Nicolas Cage movie Mandy.
Nice.
It's the 1-year anniversary of that movie coming and essentially like saving the theater. Not only saving the theater, but like making the theater viable for like the foreseeable future. That came in last year and just blew the doors off the place.
Wow.
And then we're doing a 40th anniversary or 50th anniversary of Putney Swope. And then we are doing, again, the Lord of the Rings Extended Edition Marathon.
Nice.
Wow. 14 hours, yeah. That's all 1 month of programming, yeah. That's crazy.
I've done a Lord of the Rings. I mean, that all sounds great. Everyone should go check it out if you're in the area. Or if you're not in the area, make the drive. But I've done a Lord of the Rings marathon, like when they did it in AMC, like to prep the Hobbit launch. That's very. Those are like that's my favorite trilogy. That's the trilogy for me.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And that's really hard if you're not like in the comfort of your own home. That's
Yeah, you gotta drink water.
you gotta move around,
Yeah,
take breaks.
How do you guys prepare for that?
I mean, we do some decorations in the lobby and stuff, but the movies sell themselves. I haven't even announced it yet, and there's like 15 pre-sales. I don't know how those people found the ticketing on the website, but yeah, that'll be totally sold out. We'll have to do an encore for it, but I always warn people like, stand up, move around, drink water, go outside. You know, don't miss the full day outside. But it's 14 hours, man. Like it's crazy. We give intermissions, but 14 hours.
Yeah, that's too much.
Yeah. It's like those Marvel movie marathons.
Yeah.
Where it's like 26 movies, 3 days.
Yeah.
The theater's gonna smell. Someone might faint.
If I was rich, I would go to those, but I wouldn't stay for the whole thing. I'd go like, okay, well, I'm gonna go for the Iron Man trilogy because I like all those. I'll go for Guardians of the Galaxy. I'll go for the first Thor and the third Thor. I'll kind of, I'll poke around. I'm gonna go get lunch. I'm gonna go about my day, and then I'll
Give
go.
people soap.
Yeah, a little bath tournaments and stuff like that. Yeah, of course. Speaking of Marvel movies, they dominated the summer, and I think Disney made $6 billion like all across the board. We're not going to talk about new stuff too much in the show. That's not what we do here anymore. But we'll talk about the movies that came out. And every year for the summer, I like to kind of find like a trend of some sort, not in a negative or positive way, just like see what happened. So like in 2016, I think blockbusters were generally less good, but they were also giving way to like smaller movies to come to the forefront. Like Even the Nice Guys obviously didn't do great at the box office, but it was like, hey, I think unanimously, or at least as close as you can get for a movie, like people really loved it. 2017 was less about like saving the world. It was more about like the heroes saving individual people or like ideas, or like they had a lot of heart. I think the only ones that are about saving the universe were like Transformers and Guardians of the Galaxy 2. And even Guardians 2. Oh, in 2017?
Oh, no, I thought you said 2016.
No, 2016 had Apocalypse. That's...
Yeah.
It's 2017 Dunkirk? When did
Dunkirk?
Dunkirk?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Fucking great summer that year. And then top it off with Blade Runner in like October.
Man.
That was like, we took that year for granted.
Yeah.
I mean, not like
slept.
outside of the movie world.
We
That was
slept
still
on that
bad.
year.
But
Yeah.
yeah. This year, I don't know. I think franchises are stronger than they've ever been financially,
Yeah.
and kind of make it a little difficult for everything else to kind of
Exist.
yeah, like Booksmart. I think did need to get marketed a little better, but it's a very good movie. I thought. I stand by the discussion Gene and I had with it. Trevor, what stood out to you this summer for summer movies? Like what drove you to the theater? We were talking a little bit before the show. That might not have always been the case for
Yeah,
us.
well, that's what stands out to me. I don't want to be like improv is always yes and or whatever, but I don't want to be what drove me to the movies. The more interesting thing was like how many times I stayed away from the movie. We were talking about that before, but like I would pull up my Fandango app and it would be like, the Disney movies. Like it'd be like Lion King, Far From Home, Crawl, which I saw, and we'll talk about that later or whatever. But it'd be like 4 or 5 movies playing at my local Cineplex that only has 5 theaters, and I was like, I legit do not want to see any of these movies right now. I don't care if it's $5 or $10, and I was really blown away by that. But yeah, there was some like you said, Booksmart. There was some like middling budget movies that I really enjoyed. Like Good Boys just came out. I haven't seen Good Boys, but that did well, and I'm like happy to see a mid-level movie do well. But like you said, like the Disney stuff is just like totally conquering and taking over. They had the
It's like
top
a
5
black
movies.
hole.
Yeah, it's just that
sucking
when you have the
everything.
top 5 movies of a given year currently, and like all of them have eclipsed $1 billion worldwide, it's like, should we be worried? And the answer, yeah, we should definitely be worried. Like definitely.
And it's not even about like whether someone likes or dislikes them. That's not
Yeah.
even that part of the conversation.
Right.
It's just like, hey, might want to figure a way to kind of deal with this because that might be bad. And
Yeah.
I guess like if you're gonna break it down like scientifically or whatever, they don't technically have a monopoly.
Right.
But movies are not the same thing as like, I don't know, other percentage things. So it's like 40% of the industry they own.
Yeah.
That's like still insane.
Yeah.
And that's, again, not even talking about the quality of the movies here, like whether or not we like them or dislike them. Just that's it makes it very difficult and it makes the future very disconcerting for movies. But
Yeah.
speaking of different quality, what did we like about this year's summer movies? What like made us want to go back to the theater now? I'm actually gonna toss this one to Gene now, and then I'll go back to you, Trevor.
Sure.
What got you that? What gave you that feeling like, oh yeah, I'm home in the summer movie theater?
Probably Godzilla. Seen it IMAX, and it was very baffling because it was only in IMAX for a week.
1 week.
1 week to make way for Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
And I don't know what came after Dark Phoenix. Like Spider-Man?
Let me think. Dark Phoenix.
I
yeah.
recall getting 2 trailers for Dark Phoenix before my screening of Godzilla. Like 2 trailers. One IMAX trailer, then a couple trailers like for it, Chapter 2 or whatever, and then like another Dark Phoenix trailer. And I was like, what? Like, see the writing on the wall, guys. It's like, it's gonna bomb. Like, just let's
Yeah.
stop pouring money into this thing.
That was. I'm not a fan of that movie, but I do feel bad for it because I mean, like that's such a talented cast,
Yeah.
That's-
You're the
that's
only
too
person
bad.
I know who saw it, unless you saw it. Then I know 2 people.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know 2 people
No,
who saw
I
that movie.
I saw it. I think I saw it like I had like some thing for like $4.
Oh, yeah,
And
okay.
it was like $4, so might as well. I know it's
Yeah.
just bored and sad. But yeah, I mean, like anything original really drove me to the theater, like Midsummer.
Midsummer.
Midsummer, okay.
I think it's like Midsommar, but I think we could say
Yeah,
Midsummer.
very Poupon.
I'm the guy who says Midsommar.
No, I think they're both fine. It's just like I don't want to put in the effort. I'm sorry.
Crawl. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. I know I'm like, I hope I don't steal your thunder, but yeah, just anything like original. And then, I mean, even like some like the thing is movies adapted from a book. Like I love scary stories. I thought it was pretty good. It was fun. All the
And we
practical
will,
effects was
not
something
to
different.
derail the conversation already, but we're going to talk about some of the summer movies that we didn't talk about in other episodes of the show this year. So just kind of a little bit after this discussion. Trevor, favorite summer movie?
I'll break it down. My favorite blockbuster of the summer, and I'm in good company, I know it was Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
Yeah,
I saw it in IMAX, and I really, really liked it. Like, I truly liked it, and I'm, like, not being a troll, like, being like, no, it was sweet. Like, it was sweet. I thought it was really cool. Like, it was like a painting, too, and Doherty really crushed it. Like, especially, I don't know, spoilers, I'm not going to get into it, but...
I mean, it's...
Like,
I guess
putting
it gets
like, the
that's
climax
fine.
of your movie, like, at Fenway is like so wild to me. I thought that it was on such a huge scale. Yeah, there was some crazy bad exposition and stuff like that, but I hate to like kind of just be that person who's like, you missed the point. Like if you went and saw a Godzilla movie, you didn't like the exposition or the character motivations. Like I don't think you're really going to the right movie. You shouldn't go. But you know. Then there was the middling stuff that I liked, like of course Tarantino returned to the screen, and that worked out really well for all of us. And then I really did like Midsummer a lot. I know some people didn't, and there's a director's cut coming out that I will watch. It's like 171 minutes, and I absolutely will watch that cut of the film.
I'm to hop off your Midsummer point. I really like Midsummer a lot. I actually prefer it to Hereditary.
Me too. Me too.
That's nothing against Hereditary. I'm just more of the types of movies they are. I'm more Midsummer than Hereditary.
Yeah.
And yes, we are the Godzilla fan account at this point. Right. It's like us three, Matt, and like two other people that I know that don't podcast.
Yeah. Fight them all off who doesn't.
No, I mean I get it. It's totally like I've said it. I think I said on the episode where we did finally talk about it, and I posted on Twitter. I was like, this is my Batman vs Superman. The way that cult is around that movie.
Well, I mean,
I get it. I get it now.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just felt like there's a weird disconnect with that movie, and then some people like. Yeah. I mean, I know I get like difference of opinion, but like just like really like baffling things where it's like there's too much monsters.
Yeah, or not enough monsters.
There's not enough monsters.
Did you watch the movie?
Yeah,
like,
I don't know. It was. I mean, I hate to like poo-poo on other people.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I think you can kind of tell people. Sometimes when they're operating like in bad faith, like you can tell someone said one thing and then they're just repeating another thing. Yeah. And I'm not saying that there's no like criticism worth having about that movie. Just what did like I just want to know what people felt about it, you know? Like because I definitely came out of that movie being like I think I saw a different movie because I do not understand.
It's an alternate version that's screened for some people.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like, this is a weird pull, but, like, when the 5th Pirates of the Caribbean movie came out, I'm going somewhere with this, trust me, like at CinemaCon or something, it opened to, like, rave reviews there, and then the movie was released to, like, the world, and everyone was, like, started panicking, and they're like, what, was everyone drunk? What happened? Like, was there another version of that movie? And I felt the same thing, but I'm not saying any criticism of it is invalid. I just, I also saw it in IMAX. I saw it opening night opening day without IMAX, and then the week it was there, I was like, oh, I'm going. Felt my body like shaking in the theater, and I was like, this is it. That was my summer movie for the year. But I also got to give a shout out to Toy Story 4, which I also talked about, but really surprised me because I was very cynical about that movie's existence, and then now I'm like, yep, that's one of the best of the year.
Yep,
they got me.
It worked.
Yeah, somehow. Maybe don't do another one. Just don't tempt fate anymore because you can't keep doing that.
Well, I mean, I would say without that certain person at Pixar anymore, I don't really see any sequels coming out.
Right.
Yeah, which would be nice actually. I mean, I kind of want all sequels of everything to stop right now for a while at least. Right. Just bring some new blood in.
No more remakes.
No more remakes. I'm not saying stop forever. I'm not saying there haven't been any good ones. But
there's like a CDC. We need to put a halt on all remakes.
That's kind of what it feels like.
It's like they need to be quarantined.
Yeah. But then there are some good sequels. Like John Wick 3 came out this year, and that was awesome. And I cannot wait to own the 4K of that because that movie is stunning and gorgeous. And in a better world, the John Wick series would be like a shoo-in for cinematography every time they release one. I don't know. I guess Godzilla's probably my favorite of the year too.
They were blockbuster of the summer, right? I mean, like hands down.
Oh yeah,
It's
like, no question.
It's got to be.
I'm still concerned about Godzilla versus Kong, but that's me and the director, not really.
Right. You don't like
Wingard?
I love The Guest.
Yeah.
I love The Guest.
It's great. Yeah.
Did you guys like Death Note?
I'm not watching Death Note.
I didn't watch Death Note. Is it anime?
No, it's a...
It's a manga, right?
No,
it's live action.
It was a live action one.
Okay. And he did that one, and
I didn't see that. Your next, I thought was the one that you were just talking about. Like it came out at South by Southwest. Everyone was like, "It's so great," and then I saw it and I was like, "Oh, what?" Like it was okay. I mean, it was fine. And then I really liked The Guest though. Yeah, that's fine. And then I never saw Blair Witch.
Blair Witch.
Yeah. And I love the first Blair Witch.
Oh, the first one.
And the second
one. It's amazing. You know what? The second one, I still recommend it to people. Not as like a good movie, but people be like, look at what they tried to do.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I'm not saying anything about that movie worked.
Right.
But it's a sequel that's totally different than the original, and I kind of admire that. And that's
Yeah.
about as far as I'll go with the politeness on that movie. But
I never saw that movie, but yeah.
Oh no, it's weird.
of Shadows.
I still recommend Book of Shadows, but like don't go in expecting like a good movie. Just be like, this was weird.
Does it feel like a movie that was like almost already production, and then Blair Witch was a huge hit, and then they were like, hey, just throw like the Blair Witch mythology into this movie?
No, it's
Okay.
it feels like a canon film almost, where it's like, okay, this one's a hit, like immediately.
Sure. Yeah.
We're starting production today on the sequel.
Yeah, well, it also feels like it's the opposite. Like it's like one of the canon films that like did the opposite of the original.
Oh,
Where
right.
it's like the Blair Witch.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, the Blair Witch was a film that we thought was real. It's like, make this just a movie
Yeah.
about the original. And make that a movie, or was it?
Not a terrible. I mean, that's kind of what it's about. It's not a terrible
Concept.
jumping off point, but that's whatever. This is how exciting the year was for movies so far.
Talking about Blair Witch,
but yeah, smaller films. Probably Booksmart is still my favorite of the bunch. Last Black Man in San Francisco is really, really good. I guess
Don't say the beach bum.
I loved The Beach Bum.
I hated the
We'll
beach
talk,
bum.
we'll talk about The Beach Bum. Trevor's favorite smaller movie of the year.
Besides Midsummer?
Yes.
Boy. The Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is not a small movie. It's one
I mean, if it's just Midsummer, then
it's a 100.
then it's totally
It
fine.
is Midsummer.
Okay.
I hate to say it, but Last Black Man in San Francisco, I liked it. It felt like a new director overplaying his hand a little bit. Like almost every shot to me felt like it had to be artsy and whatnot, but it was really good. I mean, the overall was really good, and then the ending just punched me in the gut. Let's see. I'm reading what you. Oh, The Beach Bum. We talk about that a little. We've already talked about it.
Yeah.
No, it's not on my list. I'm actually right in between you guys.
Okay.
I saw it. I hated it, and then we ran into the theater for a week, so I was able to walk in on it a bunch of times, and then I started to be like, all right, like because I don't like Harmony Korine. I love Spring Breakers. So
Same, you and I, same.
But I didn't love The Beach Bum. It felt like the movie was just about the guy him just like failing upward.
Yeah,
and
it's
once
an
you get
unlikable guy.
yeah, but like the carelessness of which it was made is like kind of charming to me. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
totally where I'm at.
where just like he didn't even attempt to make likable characters whatsoever, and it was just like I don't know. It was a really interesting movie. It was truly an interesting film. Like I can't hate on it for that. But yeah, my favorite was Midsummer. I mean, and I, like you, I preferred it over Hereditary for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Again, nothing. That's not even against Hereditary. I'm just being like,
No.
if you're watching on the YouTube, I'm just shaking my fist because I'm like, yeah, another one.
Yeah, Hereditary was really good. I always have the A24 2 tours. They have Robert Eggers, who made The Witch and the upcoming Lighthouse. The Witch is a great film, like Hereditary, technically, but I know I'm going to prefer the sophomore effort, the Lighthouse, just like I prefer Midsummer to Hereditary. They're more my stuff. You know what I mean? They're just more my type of movie.
Yeah, completely.
They're probably equally as well made. Hereditary's probably a better movie, to be honest with you, but Midsummer's more my shit, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gene, favorite smaller movie of the year?
I think The Art of Self-Defense.
Oh, talk about that one. I did not see that one.
haven't seen that
It was
one.
out for like 1 week.
Yeah.
I like Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah.
Hashtag my Lex Luthor. I'm just pissing Gene off. I'm sorry. But go ahead. What did you think about that movie?
Yeah, I thought it was so dark and just like it was like funny, but then I'm like, oh no, wait, that's dark.
Yeah.
And it wasn't where it turned you off. It was just kind of like, wow, it went there.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I kind of appreciated that it had such wild tones and just like black humor. And I really enjoy who's the chick from Green Room?
Imogen Poots.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's
Boots.
great.
Yeah, she's good in that.
Yeah.
You know, was the thing from? Can you say the thing that one Twitter guy said? Oh, okay.
Is it that she's the most attractive person with the least
Oh no, I'm
attractive
not
name?
repeating that.
Oh,
No, I saw a tweet that was like one of those thirst tweets where you're like, it's time, log off, man. Like, that's bad.
Okay.
Like, go
Oh, it
outside.
is.
I saw someone tweet that she's the most attractive person with the least attractive name, and I was like, yeah, like, Imogen Poots is not a good name.
The first time I ever saw her, and she like blew me away, and I wasn't like even like fully movie brain developed or anything. 28 Weeks Later,
Yeah.
the very underappreciated sequel to 28 Days Later.
Yeah.
Not as good, but still up there for me. And great performance by her and the kid who plays her brother.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, no, she's great in it. You know, and just I really just was just like, oh man, you went to some very unexpected places. Like every plot point was just thought it would go right, goes left.
Really quick then, what's the movie about? All I know is the title and Jesse Eisenberg.
Oh, it's Jesse Eisenberg is just this like office worker who's brutally beat up one night just walking, getting dog food for his dog, and develops like post-traumatic stress, and it's it goes to some very dark places in exploring that, but also just some of the humor is just like, you just have to laugh because it's very cathartic. And, it's not where it's mean-spirited, but, he takes karate lessons, and he discovers a, like, underground karate ring, and they train him to stand up for himself, and it really goes into, like, a lot of, like, toxic masculinity, stuff like that.
That sounds way more interesting than the movie I had in my head. So, thank you for that.
Yeah, exactly. And, where you think people are going to fight, someone just, like, shoots someone in the face. So.
Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Sounds like that Observe and Report, the Jody Hill movie.
I was about to say that, yeah.
A little bit, but it's not like, I don't think it's mean, because I felt like Observe and Report.
Mean.
Yeah.
Observe and Report is just a mean movie.
I want to rewatch Observe and Report.
The movie that
I did not like it when I first saw it.
Was it like the movie that's like Quentin Tarantino's like #1 of 2009?
Probably. I mean, it was like pitch black comedy. That's what I really liked. You describing The Art of Self-Defense is what I liked about Midsommar, is how like I thought genuinely the first time I watched it, I've seen it twice. It was really funny.
Yeah.
Like my audience agreed, and the second audience I saw it with in Long Beach didn't laugh at all, not even at the jokes.
Oh wow!
Like
okay.
I thought it was super funny though. That was like.
What do you think the difference was in between the crowds?
I think one crowd heard me laughing really hard and was like, "Oh, okay, cool, we're allowed to laugh at these funny parts." And the second crowd, I had already seen it, so the jokes weren't hitting with me to make me actually laugh out loud. I'm not saying I'm a catalyst in the theater and all that, but. When I saw Long Beach, I think people really wanted to be scared by it, and just people who want to be scared by a movie do not laugh during movies. They're just like, I can't laugh because it'll take me out or whatever.
Yeah.
But that first crowd, we had a good time. We had a real nice time at Midsommar, for sure. I truly think it's a comedy with some messed up stuff.
Oh yeah, no, that movie gets really fucked up by the end.
Yeah. Hereditary is like a horror film. Like I look at Hereditary like I look at The Exorcist, whereas Midsommar I look at it as like Observe and Report or something. I really think it's like a really dark comedy, and I'm sure Ari Aster would agree with me.
Yeah.
When we
He's
hang
a
out.
messed up dude. It's like that Ari Aster's a messed up guy.
Yeah,
Oh,
everyone
no,
says
he-
this
he
guy's
might-
crazy. It's like what? It's like he just remade The Wicker Man. Like it's not. He's not like that fucked up. It's like he just like a funnier version of The Wicker Man, which is great.
Yeah, and I think that's something that's really interesting about these more original films that are kind of sprinkling in. We're going to cut the break in a little bit, but that their influences are very clear.
Yeah.
But you can see they're like, okay, I'm going to take what worked so well here,
Yeah.
but I want to use it to explore
A breakup.
paths like through this weird valley over here.
Right.
You know, and like his big thing was it was a breakup movie.
Yeah.
And so now I'm going to break up this episode into 2 parts, or rather, Gene is because he's editing it. Sorry, Gene. But we're going to go to break, and we'll come back with some hot takes on your favorite and least favorite movies of the summer. Bye. Hello, listeners and viewers of the Waffle Press podcast on YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, and Patreon. This is Diego Crespo. I was supposed to read out the tweets, responses to people's thoughts on the best summer movies of 2019. I did not. I fucked up. But thankfully, Gene was able to help me in post-production. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll be able to see a lot of tweets about people's favorite movies of the summer of 2019. Slim pickings, but there was some good stuff. So let's talk about it right now. Back in the show. Thanks for understanding. I love you all 3000. That's the only time I'll ever say that. Wow, wasn't that great, whatever we cut to? Thanks, Gene, for cutting to that. But we're back. We're going to end the episode in like a little bit, but we got to talk about our favorite and least favorite summer movies. Now, we try not to be too negative on this podcast, but you know what? Fuck it. This summer was really hard to be positive, because why? Like, a lot of the movies that came out were just like, why did you do this? You all could have done better. I know everyone could have done better this year. Some people like Avengers Endgame. That's the last time I'm bringing it up. I promise. I was actually not looking forward to the Pokemon movie, though. That's the one thing I will start off with. We didn't really talk about it on this show, but I was bored and fell asleep. And I still wish Pokemon were real. There's nothing against Pokemon
Do
or
you like
Psyduck
Pokemon?
or
Wait, do you like Pokemon though?
I love Pokemon.
Okay.
I just said I wish they were real.
Okay.
I genuinely wish they were real. I wish I had a Pikachu. Ryan Reynolds should never play anyone who's not Deadpool ever again because he's just in that mode now.
Yeah.
That's
Would it have
becoming a
benefited?
Danny DeVito, yes.
Danny DeVito, yeah.
100%. But other movies that we saw that I have on my laptop. Really quick, I'm going to let Gene and I intro this, and then I'm going to let Trevor take over with everything else because he's got a lot of hot takes coming in, I'm sure. Gene, you and I saw Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I thought it was a pleasant surprise. Nice little movie. On, some like weird illustrations I remember as a kid, and they were put to life.
I wasn't a horror kid,
Yeah.
so for me, everyone's like, "Oh yeah, like all millennials like grew up with this." I'm like, I didn't. I didn't grow up with this. No, I have no touchstone for Scary Stories.
Okay,
Tell
you
in the
were
Dark.
like, "Oh, those books that were scary." Then you put them back.
Nope. I had never seen them until I heard the movie was in production. I was like, those look scary. You sure those were for kids? And everyone told me they were. And I was like, man, no one can say anything about the PC police or snowflakes because that's some fucked up shit.
Yeah.
If I saw this as a kid, I wouldn't have slept. The movie's actually, I think, also pretty good.
Yeah.
Really good. I like more of its ideas than its execution, but it's not, I don't think, in any way, shape, or form, like, underselling itself. Like, when the ball starts rolling in the film, the characters probably need a little bit more work, I think.
Yeah.
But it's the right kind of movie for horror kids, I think. Like, if you want something that you could show to someone that's not gonna like fuck them up when they're like 8 or 10 years old. Actually, this might fuck them up. Actually, I don't know.
Right.
But it hits pretty hard for a PG-13 rating. I was actually kind of surprised at some of the stuff that.
Yeah. Did you feel at
pulled
any
off there.
point like it wanted to be an R-rated movie though?
Yeah, you kind of feel
Yeah.
it, and I'm not even saying that it needed to be. I'm saying that the film like definitely was like, let's push the envelope a little bit here. You know, it's kind of like in The Dark Knight when you're like, oh yeah, that's not rated R. Like no one really thinks too much about that because it's just part of the zeitgeist at this point.
Yeah.
But you rewatch some of those Joker scenes and you're like, woo, this is a not for children Batman movie.
Right.
And this is kind of a not exactly for all ages horror movie, but I don't know, we don't have that like young listeners, but if for some reason like a 10-year-old finds this podcast, hello, how are you? Stay in school. And also watch Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Watch Midsummer as well. It's good.
Watch Midsummer. And then actually here's some advice. Go watch all these like cool popular movies now and then trace back like what inspired those filmmakers and those stories. And I think that'll be really interesting to see the progression of those ideas throughout time and history. But Trevor, you did not see that movie, but you did see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and many other movies.
Yes.
What did you think of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the totally non-controversial Quentin Tarantino movie?
Yeah, very controversial, right? I mean, there was like, for a Tarantino movie, I guess it wasn't that controversial, you know, like...
It got like controversial like right now, like after.
Right. It's my favorite movie of the summer simply because it was the one that I like. I don't know. It just like made me happy to go back to a movie theater. And I don't even mean I saw the New Beverly, of course, Tarantino's theater, but that whole experience of going and seeing it, and yeah, it was 3 hours long and all that. It just felt right. Like I was watching a good movie. Like even though it was a $100 million movie, it just felt like the throwback to the 60s and stuff like that. It just felt like a movie, and it's super cliche that they just do not make anymore. Like we don't see movies like this. We see The Lion King, we see Aladdin and stuff like Dumbo you were talking about. I liked it. It's probably in like my bottom 3 Tarantino with Hateful Eight and Django. So I guess I don't really like his newer work now that I say it out loud, but he needs Sally Menke, of course, but he needs an editor. She probably could have made those 3 movies total masterpieces, but yeah, I loved it, man. The dynamic between DiCaprio and Brad Pitt, the ending everyone talks about is amazing. I really like that. And once you get over the fact that it's straight up a hangout movie like Jackie Brown, which I've watched twice this month, it'll be a movie that I'll want to revisit like every 5 years and be like, I want to hang out with Cliff and Rick. Like, let me just hang out with these guys for 3 hours. Although I will say, they weren't the most likable characters. I was shocked by how unlikable they were at times.
One of them did kill their wife.
Yeah, allegedly.
Very caught me off guard.
Yeah, that part was weird as hell. But it is weird how unlikable they are, but how much I want to hang out in that world. And I think I'll watch it every 5 years or so, which is more than I can say for any movie that came out in summer 2016 or 2017. So I'm just glad to have him back making movies. And I wasn't even that excited for it, really, but it turned out okay for me. You guys have probably talked about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Actually, no. This is the first time
Yeah,
talking
yeah,
about the
that's
podcast.
the first time talking about
Here,
it.
Gene, go ahead.
Yeah, I saw it at ArcLight Hollywood, and our projector went out middle of the movie. I think it's like right after they get to Spawn Ranch.
Oh wow.
Okay.
That must not have killed the mood in any way, shape, or
Yeah.
form.
Tense scene in the movie.
Well, I don't like it. They just get there. It wasn't like
Oh, okay. They didn't like set up like the tenseness
yeah.
of the situation.
cool.
Okay.
So goes out. We're all in the dark for like a minute, like 2 minutes.
Was the audio still going?
No, just like
okay.
just shut down.
just
like
shut down. Yeah.
like if someone like pulled the cord, and the audience is like, "What's going on?" We're all like in the dark, literally.
Wow.
So the ushers start coming out, and people are getting mad. And they're like, "Oh, we're gonna try to fix this." They're being honest with them.
Right.
There's an issue with the projector. We'll try to figure it out. So like we're all in the lobby. 15 minutes go by.
Yeah.
This is the midnight screening, so it's probably like 2 a.m. or something.
Yeah.
So finally they go back, and the manager says, "Okay, so something's just the projector won't work. We're watching this in 70 millimeter film," and he says, "We have to watch the rest. Or excuse me, we'll play you the rest in digital," and they offer full refunds. They gave everyone like a free ticket.
Yep.
And people still got pissed, and this one chick yells out like, "What the fuck?" And then some dude's like, "Shut!" And then immediately some dude tells her like, "Shut the fuck up! It was filmed in 35 millimeter. Stop whining. Like you're not. Is it 70 millimeter wasn't even
Yeah.
the right format." And like some people left, but you just watch the rest of the movie, and it wasn't like that bad. It wasn't Trevor like. There's obvious differences between film and digital projection.
I saw it on film at the New Beverly the second time, and I saw it digitally the first time. And I will say the movie, because it's from the 60s, does benefit slightly from being on film because it looks like it's from the 60s.
Right.
But, yeah, it's a gorgeous film either way.
But it wasn't a deal breaker.
No, and you got a free ticket.
Got a free
Like
ticket.
that's like the best case scenario.
Yeah.
I don't know why I put emphasis on case, but best case scenario is like you watched 2 hours of a movie on film, it broke down, then you got a free movie and watch the rest of the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you didn't have to go home, you got to watch the rest of it. So.
Right. It was 2 a.m. too, so I'm like,
Yeah.
might as well stay.
Yeah.
So it was very eventful, but yeah. I mean, good on ArcLight, and also just getting mad at like the staff and the managers at like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
In this theater is just what's the point of?
Yeah, trust me, I get it.
Yeah,
I have sympathy.
yeah. I mean, what can they do? They can't like magically fix it. So
What did you think of the movie?
Oh, okay. I really liked it. I felt so immersed in that world. I was just living and breathing in the 60s for like, I believe it's like 2 hours, 15 minutes. The pacing, could be better, but I mean, I don't know. The indulgence of it certainly helped. Just all the driving. Just listening to the music.
Yeah.
That was great. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I would, if I would felt the same about that movie if they didn't have that. And I loved it. I wish Bruce Lee won instead of tied, but that's beside the.
Yeah, that I'm gonna hop in right there because
Yeah.
that scene, it did work for me in the movie, and I was like, my brain was like automatically like, well, it's Cliff Booth's perception of the fight. I guess spoilers for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Right.
His perception of like being able to hold his own against Bruce Lee, and the tie, it ends in a tie technically, even though he throws Bruce Lee against a car.
Right.
So I was okay with it, but like people who knew him in real life and his family are saying like, no, that was disrespectful and that wasn't him.
Right.
Like I'm not. What do you, like if you're still like, if you're up in arms about other people saying like, hey, that wasn't the man I knew, like you're an asshole.
Right.
For that.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, like you're telling like your daughter like, yeah, I knew him more than you. It's like really.
yeah, like that's
Really?
Don't do it. Just. I don't know. I think it's worth talking about that at least. But I also really loved it, and I was not looking forward to it honestly because you hear all this stuff about like, oh yeah, Tarantino might have almost gotten Uma Thurman killed instead of Kill Bill, and I was like, man, that's like no. Obviously, no one's perfect and all that jazz. I'm not saying like someone's behind the scenes issues and personality have to like impact every movie you watch. It's just for me personally, I was like kind of very deflated on Tarantino at the time.
Yeah, me too.
And I was a big Hateful Eight fan, actually. So I think I'm the opposite of Trevor. I think he's actually gotten better at directing, but his editing, his movies are too long now. That is 100% true.
I agree. No. I agree. I agree. He's still a good director. But yeah, and you would say like, oh, but his writing has gotten looser, but it's like it hasn't. The editing has just gotten looser. So, I mean,
this is a very unfortunate circumstance. No, it's completely out of everyone's control. Very sad to see Sally Monk go.
She's great.
Yeah, she was great.
I would say, besides like the other movies she edited, besides Tarantino, are also.
Of course.
Worth
mentioning. I do think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was way too long.
Yeah.
But I have to say, this is actually like probably a top 3 Tarantino for me. And I did not expect that at all. It's like the only ones I know for sure that I like more, like 100%, are Inglourious Bastards and Jackie Brown, which most other movies just will never touch for me.
Inglourious is my favorite as well.
Yeah.
It's really a weird state of affairs where I'm like, it's like my 6th or 7th favorite Tarantino, but my favorite movie of the summer. You know what I mean? Like that says a lot about the summer for me personally.
We should move on, but I liked it a lot. I'll probably write something up for the Patreon soon. I've been trying to like get all my thoughts together, and like it just keeps leading me down somewhere else because I think the movie has a lot to say about stuff Tarantino's never even like approached. Like I think it's the first Tarantino movie to like confront like the really toxic, masculine like aspects of his films and the characters he writes. I think Hateful Eight veers a little too far in another direction, even though it kind of tries that. I think there's a little too far. And I think it works as the last Tarantino film in a very, very weird way. I know he's got one more. He's going to call it like his epilogue, I think he said in an interview, and I think that's interesting. But if it all ended here, I would not be against that.
Or if it ends on Star Trek.
Oh man,
I love Tarantino. Don't do a Star Trek.
It's like, don't do it, man.
He's never going to. I mean, like, you know what I mean?
Like you know what's going to happen? What I would be interested in if he wrote like an outline or something.
Yeah, like a treatment.
I'd be cool. And then get like get S.J. Clarkson. I think was going to direct Star Trek 4 before they pulled the plug on that. Bring her back and have her direct the script. That would have been something.
It would be so just wild if that happened.
It won't happen.
Okay. Some alternate universe that's happening, though.
Yeah. Trevor, what else did you like this summer?
One that we haven't talked about I'm not answering your question, but one we haven't talked about is Crawl, Alexander Aha's Crawl, which the thing I like about your show is how positive you guys are a lot of the time compared to a lot of other movie personalities in general.
Thank you. Don't listen to the retrospective.
No, mostly you guys are positive. I mean, like, you can't be always positive about a movie, which is what I'm about to say about Crawl. A movie tailor-made for me. Tailor-made for my brand of liking creature features and stuff like that. I enjoyed it. Totally enjoyed it. I thought it was impressive given the budget. I loved the scene with the looters. There's a lot of good stuff in it. But I could not bring myself to, after it was over, like, remember most of it. I don't know why. Like, it could have been like the day I was having, but it was a very forgettable movie. It was very fun, but it was a little disappointing. Like, it's odd to have lofty ambitions for a movie like Crawl when you go to see it, but it left me wanting something, and I don't know what it was because it pretty much gave you everything you would want. What did you think of it?
I actually kind of feel the same now. I was a big fan walking out of it, and I still like it. I still totally recommend it. But then I kept thinking back, like, well, The Shallows did this better. I loved The Shallows. I'm the #1 Shallows fan. John Colette-Serra's Jungle Cruise will be the best Disney movie ever. But anyways, Crawl, I still think it's a pretty solid, like, B-level, like, creature feature. It's weird because it doesn't really stick around, but it's got everything I like. It's got, like, an inventive, like, set piece. I think the tone, it's the nicest. Aha's films? Aha's?
I say Aha. It could be Alexander Aja. I don't really. I've never heard.
If it's Aja, I apologize. I hope we're right too. It's the nicest of his films that I've seen. I really like his Hills of Eyes remake. Actually, that might be better than the original.
You're right. His films are kind of like mean spirited.
There's a vileness to them that I can appreciate from a distance. And this one, I think I wish was a little more vile. Actually, not that every movie needs to be like vicious. I just like blood, I guess. I wish every movie was Deep Blue Sea is the problem. But it's, I don't know, I like that it's kind of an evolution of like the shark movie almost, like not just because the alligator can go on land and sea, but like
their jaws are.
Yeah, their jaws are scarier in a way to me, but like it's kind of very. I don't know. It's not like its ambitions aren't high for like tackling climate change or anything like that, but just because of the world we live in now, where that's a very real problem, it's like, oh yeah, this could only really happen nowadays. And I think that's kind of neat. That's probably the thing that made it stick around the most. It's like, oh yeah, like in Jaws and like the shallows, it's out in the ocean.
Right.
It can't get you on land. But here it's like, no, like it's not even safe on land anymore.
Right. The oceans will come to us.
And that idea is probably what made it scarier to me. And why I'd still totally recommend it. But yeah, I have felt it kind of withering away from me a little bit. But I also want to say Kaya Scodelario from Skins. Bad show. Great performances. I'm glad she finally got a big starring role because she's very good.
She's good.
Yeah. Gene, what do you think?
I definitely enjoyed it. It's a movie, yeah.
Oh,
it's a movie, yeah.
Yeah. For better or worse.
For better or worse, it's a movie. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was just, I really enjoyed it. I don't really have much to say about it.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, not every movie needs to be once upon a time in Hollywood.
Yeah, it's kind of that type of movie where it's like, yeah, it's good, you know.
I will gladly buy a Blu-ray, put it on my collection, and be like, you know what I want? Movie night or something like that.
Yeah.
Just decent little creature feature, some popcorn, some friends, a couple beers.
The one thing that bothered me about it that I don't think it recovered from was, I don't know, this is very early on, so it's not even that much of a spoiler, and people know there's an alligator in it, or a crocodile?
Yeah, alligator.
They're the same as far as I'm concerned.
No.
I know they're not. That's wrong with the joke, Gene.
They're not.
The way it was introduced, do you remember how the way that the alligator was introduced?
I think she finds the crocodile eggs or the alligator eggs.
Well, there's like the hints that it's there or whatever, and then she goes to leave and it just like comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, it just lunges, yeah.
And it's like a really weird introduction where and then Barry Pepper literally just goes like, oh yeah, by the way, there's a gator down here. And you're like, wait, what? Like the movie never got its like that hurt the movie for me. I don't know why, but there wasn't like this crazy intro. It was just like it walked out, and I was like, what?
I guess we're there now?
Yeah, I guess we're at that part of the movie.
I can see that.
It really kind of, I didn't see the trailer for the movie, but I think it really like banked on the idea that you knew the concept of the movie. And we're like, oh, there's the gator. All right, cool, let's get this going.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird.
No, the geography of the house and everything was so laid out.
Yeah.
I felt maybe it could have leaned into the climate change aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want more climate change thrillers because
did you know
that would be
if you have a house that just gets by the ocean, you could just sell it.
Yeah, fuck Ben Shapiro.
You could just sell the house.
Double fuck Ben Shapiro.
Sell it to Aquaman
Gene's referencing H. Bomber Guy's video on climate change and tearing down Ben Shapiro points. So please don't spoil anything for me.
It's just general themes.
We're both big fans.
Yeah, just general themes. It's just about Dib and his dad.
Oh,
so
that's kind of neat.
Yeah, I mean, because the dad's just like the ultimate just smart psychopath in all of like cartoons. Like, was it I invented toast?
Oh yeah. Vader Zim's wild and weird, and I recommend it to people. And Gene recommends the movie. I'll recommend Rocko's Modern Life. Static
Cling.
Thank you. I really like that. I just want to talk about the Beach Bum really quickly because we got to wind down the show.
Oh, why would you do this?
Because I love the Beach Bum and its irreverence and its pointlessness, and how at the end it ends on a completely unearned thematic point about Matthew McConaughey being like, you know what? Fuck capitalism.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
I still can't get over the scene where was it like Cedric the Entertainer just gets eaten?
Oh yeah, Martin Lawrence.
Martin
Lawrence, excuse me.
How dare you? That's one of the bad boys, sir.
No, I had a Mandela effect moment.
Yeah, no.
Sorry.
Does not get eaten. First of all, spoilers for the Beach Bum. He gets his leg chewed off by a shark, which also made me want to
that did make me laugh.
A24 shark movie.
Yeah, that did make me laugh though.
Oh, it's the funniest movie I've seen all year. I'm sorry, I thought it was
just
hilarious.
like good things happen to bad people, and then bad things happen to the good people.
Yeah, and it's just this endless like snowball effect of like here's this like kind of crummy dude he's got a big heart, but he's very selfish.
Yeah,
and he's just kind of like.
Like a force of nature.
Yeah, he's
ruins everything.
Yeah, he's a force of nature who just gets himself into like, if A24 did a sitcom, this is what it like would be like.
Yeah.
But like skeevier and like nasty.
Just ruins people's lives.
I'm not a big Harmony Korine fan. I'm right there with Trevor. I love Spring Breakers. Everything else, not so much.
Yeah.
I really love the cinematographer Benoit Debie, who works with who's the guy who did Climax? Gaspar Noé.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And I'm not a fan of Gaspar
Yeah.
Noé, even less so than Harmony Korine.
Did you see Climax?
I did.
Oh, okay. We'll talk later.
I don't want to, but no, I'm not a fan of him. But he's an amazing cinematographer, and I thought in a perfect world he'd be my shoe-in for cinematography alongside Dan Laustin from John Wick 3. But I don't know. I'd recommend it if you like Spring Breakers and you're like, what if this was a comedy? I think that's probably the way to go. If that doesn't sound like your kind of thing, don't watch it. I wouldn't recommend it to everyone, but it's a very Diego movie, and I'm very happy that I saw it. But it's very specific for sure.
Yeah.
Last thing, literally anything else we saw around here.
I just saw the new Richard Linklater movie, Where'd You Go, Bernadette?
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
It's gotten rave reviews.
Yeah.
At 3% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, I was about to rave about it. My girlfriend read the book, and so we had to go see it, I guess. That's the thing now. And I didn't know it was directed by Richard Linklater until I was on my way to the theater. I wish I had watched the whole movie, and then it said directed by Richard Linklater. But it's just definitely he got to work with Kate Blanchett, which is great. But even as being who he is, she's off the wall the whole movie. She's overacting like crazy, which is good. It's the only good thing about the movie. Billy Crudup's in it, and I love Billy Crudup.
I love that guy.
Yeah, Billy Crudup season.
It's like a comedy, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's trying to be a comedy. It's pretty.
Well,
it's like the most by the numbers movie.
Oh,
It's
okay. Because
crazy.
I was gonna say his last movie, The Last Flying, was so good, but so depressing.
I didn't see that. Yeah.
It's really good. It's depressing as
He
well.
has a really interesting career of one for you, one for me, one for you, one for me. This is definitely the one for not for him. It's definitely the
Not
one
for you either.
Yeah. It wasn't for anyone, I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say
It's not gonna make money or anything. It's just a total bummer of a movie, and it's Annapurna, which is just they're gonna go out of business soon.
so sad. Not to get more newsy discussions going on, but I think they're done. That's sad because they put out great movies, but it's
sure.
they are also putting out that movie.
Well,
you just don't know.
That was the big hint. I was like, it's Annapurna. I'm like, who directed this? Because she usually works with good directors. Whatever. I was like, oh, it's Richard Linklater. That's so crazy that I didn't know that, and that they're not using his name at all in the advertising, or at least I don't think they are.
Not to just leave that point hanging, but to talk a little bit more about Annapurna Pictures. I remember when Leica was having trouble. They put out such great films, but no one can see them because they're not great, well marketed. And then oh, don't worry, Annapurna Pictures are gonna start marketing them. When I heard that, I was like, oh fuck, they're done. The next movie's the last one.
Yeah, they got blamed for Booksmart too, right?
Yeah,
the marketing, probably.
I thought they marketed it pretty well, and then a week out before that, I was like, oh, I guess not many people know of it still. That might have been just it coming in at the end of May. I don't know, but that's too bad.
I think I saw the trailer for Endgame, so they were doing something. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah.
Bummer.
Yeah, Booksmart Endgame. Gene, what else you got before we wind up?
Batman versus the Ninja Turtles.
Oh, the movie where Batman shows Donatello where his parents died.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Batman eats
That's not
pizza.
even me being snarky. Sounds awesome.
Sounds awesome. Especially the current state of all the DC animation. I hated Hush. Kind of liked the Return of Superman.
Really quick, why? I'm not trying to fight you.
Yeah.
But I will.
Right.
Why do you still watch the DC animated movies? Because I can't anymore.
Well, I mean, some of it's just it's on the DC app.
Oh, right.
It's free. Or it's just, I could get a Red Box for free. I'm like, oh, it's a DC movie. It's going to be 70 minutes. It doesn't take too long to watch. It's just in and out. And they're all getting continually worse.
Wow.
But yeah, I was very surprised by Batman versus Ninja Turtles. Or I think it's Batman. Yeah, Batman versus Ninja Turtles. Yeah, two of my favorite things growing up. So
I got a soft spot for the Ninja Turtles, and I did not grow up with them.
Radical.
I
You didn't grow up with
scary
Ninja
stories.
Ninja
Turtles.
You never had bed sheets with Ninja Turtles or anything?
No, I was a Godzilla kid.
Okay.
I was Godzilla, King Kong, Spider-Man.
Turtle power.
I like them.
No, they have great sayings. They're Reaganomics.
No.
It's the 80s.
Oh wait. I guess that's it. I don't know what else. Last Black Man in San Francisco, really good. I don't know, Trevor. You got those points across really well.
What, Last Black Man?
Yeah, Last Black Man in San
It was
Francisco.
beautiful.
Yeah, I get your point about it. The director kind of overextending themselves a little bit.
Whatever.
Yeah, but whatever. It's your first movie.
Yeah, go for it.
make a statement, and
Yeah,
that movie totally does. I think is that it? Is that all the movies that came out that like we didn't talk about already?
I will say I'm excited for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
There's some good movies. I won't even I don't want to sit here and name them all, but I think there's going to be like literally 10 really good movies that I see the rest of the year, which
There
is
you go.
good, a lot of movies.
I mean, it could be like, like 2018, where it's like the best blockbuster movies, like Aquaman comes out at the end of the year.
Yeah, I rewatched Aquaman
Still
3
good.
times.
Still slaps.
Yeah, I still love it.
It's still slaps.
so ridiculous. I wish all movies had that tenacity.
Of
But I guess
a Pitbull cover of
Pitbull.
Toto's.
Oh yeah, it's not
Great.
too late to get Pitbull on Bad Boys 3. Get Pitbull to do a song for Bad Boys 3,
It's
please.
not too late at all.
Please, yeah.
let's do it.
Please. Someone get in touch with him.
Yeah.
Because I need that more than anything in my entire life. But I'm going to steal another Trevor point because I think that's a good way to close out the show. If the summer movie season was not the hottest thing ever, it's not the first time that's happened. 2007 had a really rough summer season. 2009 did. 2016, but we got a lot of great films that came later in the year. 2007 had like Diving Bell and the Butterfly. Juno was a big hit at the time.
Yeah.
And just
No Country, There Will Be Blood.
yeah, 2007 was awesome, but you wouldn't know that if you were only living in the first half of it.
Yeah. When did Zodiac come out? Assassination of
Oh
Jesse James.
yeah, like that's crazy. All those in the same year.
Yeah. It was a great year.
So who knows? You know, we still got, and for the bigger movies, we still got Star Wars. I'm looking
Oh
forward.
shit!
I like that J.J. Abrams guy.
I like J.J. Abrams.
I forgot about
He's
Star
a nice
Wars.
fellow.
Please.
Hope
Please
the
get it
toxic
right.
fandoms leave us, but
Yeah, like that's the thing too. It's like I don't want to hate it if it comes out and it's like bad, or I think it's bad, because then I'll be like, oh, then I just sound like these crazy assholes. But I don't know. There's a lot to look forward to still this year.
We have a new
and
Ryan Johnson movie coming out.
New Ryan
Oh,
Johnson
that's right, yeah.
movie, Knives Out, looks
Yeah.
really fun, and hopefully the movie's better than the trailer a little bit. But, well, I'm very looking forward to that. This was a weird show, but this was a weird summer, and that's okay. Gene, thank you again for joining me and co-hosting with me.
You're welcome.
Trevor Dillon, thank you very much for coming
Thank you.
by again. You're always welcome here.
It was fun. It was really fun.
Where can people find you on the internet?
At Trevor Dills across all platforms, and then at Ghost Party Pictures, which is where I make my short films with my buddy Ian. Hi, Ian.
And plugs. Anything else?
Our new short film, The Vicious, is making the festival circuit. Well, it's making the festival circuit. It's opening festivals across the country. No, it's going to be in a lot of festivals in 2020. We missed the deadline on almost every 2019 festival.
Oh, sorry.
But it is playing at Horrible Imaginings Film Festival, which is coming up, which is a really rad horror festival. And then it's playing at the one in Utah, the huge one, Film Quest, the biggest genre festival in the country. It's playing on Friday, the 13th of September.
Hey.
Yes. If you're in Utah.
Yeah.
Someone out there's got to be.
Yeah.
I believe in it.
Go see The Vicious, my new short film.
Yeah,
Cool.
thank you.
Yeah, no.
Links down below to Trevor's plugs too, along with Gene's plugs. Where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Gene9892.
And you can find me on the Waffle Press, Twitter, Instagram. We have an Instagram now, but also check out the Patreon where we post all this stuff early, pictures, writing posts, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and don't forget to check out the early retrospective stuff on the Patreon too. Open for most of the tiers down there, and myself at twitter.com/TheDiegoCrespo. Thank you for guys for joining me. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you like this, like and subscribe. If you didn't like this, like and subscribe anyways, because you might find something you do like. We have been professionally unprofessional.